Welcome to the DataBridge Windows SharePoint Services 2007 training. My name is Michael Fox and I'll be your tour guide through the upcoming training tutorials. And we found that it's what learners do that determines how much they learn. So these training sessions are designed to provide you with the knowledge and skills to become a SharePoint super user. The tutorials are divided into self-paced training modules that allow you to see a demonstration, hear an explanation, and then perform or practice the task on your site. And we highly encourage that type of interaction. This training is designed for contributors, designers, and administrators of a Windows SharePoint Services site. In this session, we're just going to give you a brief overview of what we're going to cover in the training, as well as what is SharePoint, where did it come from, what are the components of it, and how is it put together. So let's get started and take a look at the content of the training. We've broken the training into 9 main areas, starting with an overview of the site, and then we get into some specifics like libraries, the different kinds, documents, pictures, and wikis, the different kind of lists that come with SharePoint out of the box, like announcements and calendars and task lists, as well as the ability to create custom lists from scratch or from an Excel spreadsheet. We then get into the Views section, which is the ability to create reporting to be able to show the content in any form or fashion that you choose. We go into Web Parts, which are the building blocks for SharePoint and allow you to show text or documents or images on any page or place within the site. And then we go into User Settings and show users how to modify their passwords and email addresses, as well as personalize their own views. Site creation, pages, and workspaces is an area that actually will give you the building blocks to show you how to build out your intranet or extranet or knowledge base and connect multiple sites, creating a site collection. We'll get into users and permissions, showing you how to add those, assign them to certain team groups, and then also select permissions for sites, files, and folders to see who can see what and who can't. And then Site Settings is the administrative area of SharePoint, and we'll go through detail on each one of those on how what the functionality is of each setting. What is SharePoint? First off, it's collaboration. It's working together on team projects and sharing information to accomplish goals. It's document management. It's a structured way to manage and share documents through the use of versioning, metadata, and workflows. And Microsoft's done a great job of eliminating the email plus attachment nightmare that we all face these days, as well as the servers and individual computers with multiple documents, multiple versions of the same documents, and outdated documents. It's a portal. It's a personalized user interface that brings together information from different websites or web services. And it's also content management, publishing and design processes for pages on portals or other websites. Where did SharePoint come from? Well, in the late 90s, during the internet boom, many startups created web-based portals, content management, and collaboration systems. Microsoft followed in 2000 by coming out with the first version of SharePoint called SharePoint Team Services. Followed up in 2003 with version 2, and then in January of 2007 they released version 3 that fixes many of the 2003 product shortcomings and adds many new features such as blogs, wikis, and workflow. Let's talk about what a site is. A site stores lists of documents, events, tasks, discussions, and many other types of information. It contains pages and web parts that provide access to information that's either stored within the site or external locations, and it controls access and defines permission levels for users and groups within the site. A site collection is many of those sites that are connected together. One is the root site or the parent site, and the other are subsites or child sites. In this diagram, we're looking at an intranet home as the root site or parent site, and then we created 2 subsites called Marketing and Human Resources. We further created subsites or child sites under those called Management and Sales for marketing and Employee Information for human resources. We'll show you how to be able to partition these off and create permission levels for these where employee information may be just for the Human Resources Department eyes only. As we create these sites, you're going to have the ability to choose a template that determines the site functionality and initial configuration of content on the site. So as we create that marketing or human resources or IT site, we'll be able to choose a team site that comes standard with document libraries, announcements, task lists, and discussion board, or create a blog or a wiki or a document workspace. Within sites, you have different lists that store list items, and they specify a set of columns or fields that each list item will have. Lists have different ways to view list items by sorting, filtering, and grouping functions, and they control access and defines which permission level users and groups will have within the list. The list types, and we talked a little bit about this earlier, as you go to the list creation page, you can select a template that determines the list functionality. Document libraries, image libraries, picture libraries, announcements, contacts, calendars, tasks, all of these are ready for your creation just at the click of a button. We'll also get into the custom lists as we discussed and show you how to create your own custom forms that you may be using right now using a Word document or an Excel form. Well, I hope that gives you a good overview of what SharePoint is and where it came from. Let's get into some hands-on tutorials.